You know, looking at this email, it's long and I read recomposition. This is one of those where I should have probably read it in advance and researched an answer, but the thing I like about this, it's kind of like a live Q&A. It gives you, if you just ask me off the cuff, and usually I got this. If not, I won't film it or I'll stop it, but I think I got this one because I've read a couple sentences in. By the way, tigerfitness.com, flat rate, $5.99 shipping all over the continental US. Plus, by the end of the year, we will have a West Coast location getting you next day service to Southern California, tax-free. This is from Fran. Recomposition is the subject. Generally, we discuss either gaining muscle or losing fat. However, I think recomposition is underlooked quite a bit. There are some guys that lack muscle mass and they still have a considerable amount of body fat, around 15%. Since nutrition is the main key to gain muscle, to that I will disagree because training intensity, I believe, is just as important. Lose fat. What is your advice for someone who's looking to gain muscle and lose fat? Keep going with your amazing videos, Mark. Honestly, newbies or people who are tremendously undertrained can gain muscle and lose fat at the same time. However, for someone, even if someone's on androgens with years and years of training experience, the likelihood of gaining lean mass considerably and losing fat is extremely hard to do and extremely, not impossible, but extremely unlikely. So that's why I recommend that people either cut or like fatlossfactorbook.com, you aim to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. Or bulk, and bulking, I would start at a body fat no more than 8%, and I would aim to gain around 2 pounds per month or a half a pound a week. It's very understated, very minimal, and that allows for very lean gains, and it allows your body not to go through something that's extremely unhealthy, which is the yo-yo effect, where your body's going up and down in weight, and it's just hard on your system, hard on your body in general. So how do you do this? Recomposition, I don't believe you should do it in one step. What I believe you should do is you should diet down, where your body fat is between 6 and 8%. 8% is the maximum. Once you get to that, you start a gain phase, which massdiet.com, massdiet.com, addresses it quite well, where you just simply add enough calories or decrease cardio enough to gain 2 pounds a month or 0.5 to 1 pound a week. It's a very slow, deliberate process, but it leads to the best long-term gains, and also you look like a bodybuilder year-round, not a fat piece of shit. And also, as Lee Haney and John Balick said, you can't flex fat. Being over fat will not put you in a more anabolic environment. In fact, I would argue that it puts you in a less anabolic environment than being at a body fat between 12 and 15%. So that is my opinion on that. As far as what the main variable is, I believe training intensity. Training intensity is the main variable in gaining lean mass. And let me explain. The main difference I see in the grade, obviously there's anomalies. There's Dexter Jackson, Sean Roden, not known for their hard training. They train smart, they train diligently, they've been doing it for years. You know, Sean's getting up there in age, Dexter's 45. But you look at the greats, the Ronnie Colemans, you know, you look at the guys who really, Dorian Yates, really took it to the next level. And what they did is they trained intense, they trained hard. The Doug Millers, hell me, my body wouldn't be near what it is now if it wasn't for the intensity I train at. So I think you need to factor in, you need to train your balls off, train intense. A lot of good programs up there. Sean and myself are actually putting together one. We're actually going to do a hybrid where it combines long-term training, where you're going to be healthy for life, using some of the principles we learned with our EXO certification, along with hypertrophy and basically training fucking insane. So I mean, you got to train hard, you got to train smart, you got to allow for recovery. So I like having at least 1 to 2 regen days a week, not necessarily complete off days, but days where you do 20 minutes of, I'm talking light cardio, like 3.0 speed, no incline on the treadmill, for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then you foam roll, you pin roll, you use lacrosse balls for probably a good 30 to 40 minutes total. And I think that's a long-term strategy, but we're gonna have more on that. But for now, recomposition, I believe, is done in phases. Fran, where it is recomposition because after 6 months, you will have a better composition of your body than you did 6 months earlier. And just because you did it by losing fat and then gaining really slow, you still recomped. I'm Marc Lobliner, tigerfitness.com, $5.99 flat rate shipping across the continental US. That's not a game.